The lights inside the Neon Dune, a luxury lounge on station Helios 5, flickered with soft blue pulses. Human diplomat Commander Raylan Thorne sat quietly at a polished glass table, watching the busy crowd of aliens and humans alike. The place was neutral ground, a place of peace after the solar skirmishes. But not everything was calm beneath the shiny surface. He was waiting for someone. Or rather something. Across from him sat a woman unlike any he'd ever seen before. Smooth pale purple. Skin shimmered like silk, and her silver eyes reflected the neon glow. She wore no name tag, no rank badge, just a simple black uniform with a tiny emblem one no one on Earth had yet been able to identify. She was from the planet Xeris, one of the last neutral empires in the galaxy. Raylan leaned forward. So ... We talk peace tonight? She gave a small smile, almost unreadable. That depends on your order. Raylan raised an eyebrow. My order? She gestured to the hovering menu. There's a cocktail here, one that's illegal on my planet. If you order it, it means you choose truth. If not, you choose lies. The tension between them felt like a wire stretched tight. Raylan glanced around. Other tables buzzed with conversation, laughter, music, but here, silence ruled. He tapped. The holo menu. Bring me the memory fire. A server drone zipped toward their table with a faint hiss, placing a tall glowing drink before Raylan. It sparkled like liquid flame and pulsed with red and gold. Everyone nearby turned to look, whispers rising. The drink was rare, forbidden in many systems, said to pull truths from the mind whether you wanted them or not. The Xeritian woman stared at the drink like it was a loaded weapon. You've made your choice, she said quietly. Raylan nodded. Your move. Then she did something no one could have predicted. She reached across the table, grabbed the cocktail, and drank it all in one breath. Her silver eyes widened. Her body shook. She gasped. Raylan stood quickly, knocking over his chair. What are you doing? That drink wasn't for too late. Her eyes rolled back for a second. Her mouth opened, but not to speak. A deep voice came from within her. It wasn't hers, it was human. War protocol ... activated. Raylan froze ... all around them. The lights in the lounge dimmed. Red warning signals began flashing on the station walls. Guests panicked. Alarms blared. The servers stopped moving. From the woman's body, a glowing circuit pattern began spreading across her skin. Her voice changed back. I wasn't born Xeritian. I was made. Grown with human DNA, meant to infiltrate your peace tables. But I never expected you to choose truth. Raylan felt his throat go dry. This is a war declaration, she said softly. The memory fire wasn't just a drink. It was a key. She had unlocked a secret hidden inside herself, planted years ago by someone, maybe even someone human. Raylan reached for his cum, but his hand shook. Then she whispered something that chilled his blood. I didn't want this. He whispered back. Neither did I. Suddenly, station gravity failed for a second. The floor shook. A booming voice echoed through the loudspeakers. Warning. Command override detected. Emergency lockdown initiated. Raylan's eyes met hers. The strange woman looked sad, broken, as if she had just destroyed the very peace she came to protect. Then she fainted. Right there, in front of him. Raylan caught her before she hit the floor. Around them, the chaos grew. Guards rushed in. Guests screamed. Weapons were drawn, and all because he ordered one glowing drink. Asterisk, the alarms kept screaming. Commander Raylan Thorne held the alien girl tightly in his arms as she lay unconscious. Her skin still shimmered with those glowing red circuits. The memory fire had done something terrible. But what? Around him, security bots rushed in. Metal feet clanged on the lounge floor. Step away from the Zerition, a bot ordered in a mechanical voice. She is a threat to station security. She's not moving, Raylan shouted. She's unconscious. She triggered a war class override. She's now classified as a galactic weapon. Raylan's face twisted in disbelief. A weapon? He looked down at the girl. Her face was calm now. Soft. Innocent. She didn't look like a weapon. I'm taking her to medbay, he said. That is against protocol, the bot replied. Surrender the body. She's not a body. Raylan roared. Before the bots could react, Raylan grabbed the nearest hover chair and slid the girl into it. He activated the emergency override badge on his chest. The lights above flickered, registering his command status level 7 clearance. Human diplomatic authority. The bots paused. That was all he needed. He pushed the hover chair hard, bolting through the lounge exit and down the corridor. Behind him, voices and alarms blended into a background blur. Inside the medical bay, Raylan sealed the door and activated a bioscan on the alien girl. The scan screen lit up with strange results. Half of her DN a matched Zerition code, but the other half was human. His breath caught in his chest. How is that possible? He whispered. She groaned. Her eyes opened slowly. Where am I? Safe, Raylan said. For now, she blinked, confused. Did I drink it? Yes, he said. The memory fire. Why? I don't know, she whispered. My name is Ilari. At least, I think it is. You're not sure? I don't know who I am anymore, she whispered. Something woke up inside me. Something ... ancient. It was like someone else took control of me. Someone else? Raylan leaned closer. I saw things, she continued, shaking. Ships burning. Earth cities under attack. Human minds linked with machines. A war, but not now. A war from hundreds of years ago. Raylan's blood ran cold. She wasn't just an alien hybrid. She was a carrier. Someone had placed war memories inside. Her body, maybe from the first human Xeris war, the one no one ever talked about. But why? Raylan asked. Why give you human DNA? Why put those memories inside you? Ilari sat up slowly, holding her head. I was grown in a lab. I only learned that recently. I thought I was Zerition, but I'm not. I was made for this moment, to respond when a human ordered memory fire. It was a trigger. Raylan stared at her. But you could have killed me. Why didn't you? She met his eyes. Because you didn't lie. A silence passed between them. A silence heavy with meaning. Before they could speak further, the screen on the wall flashed, incoming message, Xeris High Council. Raylan tapped to open it. A hooded alien appeared on the screen. You have activated Forbidden's code, human. Return the prototype or your station will be deemed hostile. Prototype? Ilari's face went pale. They're going to destroy the station, she whispered. To erase me. No, Raylan growled. Not if I can help it. He turned to her. Can you move? I think so. Then come with me. We're leaving this station. Where will we go? To the old ruins on Mars, he said. That's where the last human-Xeris conflict ended. Maybe it has the answers we need. She nodded slowly, but before they could move, the station shook violently. A deep hum began to vibrate through the walls. Raylan grabbed her hand. This just turned into a rescue mission. Asterisk, the ship rattled as it entered Mars' thin atmosphere. Raylan gripped the controls tightly. Beside him, Ilari sat in silence, her silver eyes staring at the red world below. Her skin still glowed faintly from the memory fire's activation. Are you okay? Raylan asked. No, she said softly. But I want to know why I was made. I need answers. So do I, Raylan muttered. Their small diplomatic shuttle broke through the clouds, aiming for a location long abandoned. Site 43, an old human Xeris warbase buried beneath the Martian dust. No one had gone there in over 100 years. The station landed near a pile of broken red rocks. The sky above was dark with a storm, swirling with sand. Raylan handed Ilari a breathing mask. She didn't need it, but he did. As they stepped out, the wind howled like ghosts. "This place feels wrong," Ilari said. Raylan nodded. "That's because it is." They entered the old metal structure, pushing open a rusted blast door. Inside, everything was covered in red dust. Ancient human tech blinked with faint power. Screens, lights, half-functioning doors. The air was stale but breathable. Old signs in English and Xeritian lined the walls. This was a peace lab, Raylan said, built to study each other's minds, to understand. But something went wrong. They moved deeper. In the center chamber, they found a massive glass pod, cracked and empty. On the wall was a metal plaque, Project Echo, Hybrid Diplomat Gene Fusion Prototype 01. Ilari stepped back, her mouth open. "That's Emmy," Raylan's heart pounded. She walked slowly to a nearby terminal. Her fingers moved like she had done this before. Screens lit up. Data flowed. One screen showed her birth records. Created 2,187, DNA, 52% Xeritian, 48% human, emotional override, memory fire linked. Status: unstable, do not activate. "They never finished programming me," Ilari whispered. "I wasn't supposed to be used. I was locked away. And yet..." "Here you are," Raylan said. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed through the station. Turned fast. Footsteps. Heavy, metal. A tall figure stepped into view, covered in old Xeritian battle armor. The voice that came out was broken and hollow. "You should not be here." "Who are you?" Raylan shouted. "I am the Watcher of Echo." The figure said, "My task is to erase the past. You have triggered what was never meant to awaken." The figure raised a plasma blade. It glowed blue. Ilari stepped in front of Raylan. "If you want to erase me, you'll have to go through me." The Watcher paused. "You were not meant to survive, Prototype." "But I did," she replied, "and I remember." Suddenly, the lights flickered. More figures appeared in the shadows. Broken androids. War machines. All waking up after a century of silence. Raylan pulled out his sidearm. "We're leaving." "You are too late," the Watcher said. "Your presence here has reactivated the entire site. In 1 hour, this place will self-destruct. Everything inside, including the girl." "No," Ilari cried. "I deserve to live." "You were built for war," the Watcher said coldly. "Peace does not include you." Raylan raised his weapon and fired. The plasma bolt hit the Watcher's shoulder, sparking and throwing him back. "Run!" Raylan shouted. They dashed through the crumbling hallways. Sirens blared, lights flashed. Doors slammed shut behind them. The ground trembled as old reactors came to life one final time. As they reached the exit, Ilari stopped. She turned back. "I need to do something," she said. "What?" Raylan shouted. "I can connect to the station's core. I can stop the destruction, but only from inside." "No, you'll die." She touched his face gently. "Maybe I was made for war, Raylan, but let me choose peace." And before he could stop her, she ran back into the fire. Asterisk smoke filled the Martian sky as Commander Raylan Thorne stood outside the crumbling ruins of Site 43. The ground beneath him rumbled, and behind the sealed blast doors, alarms screamed louder than ever. Ilari had gone back inside. She chose to stop the destruction from the source. She chose peace over herself. "No," Raylan whispered. "This isn't how her story ends." He tried to override the door controls, but the old system rejected his command. The station had entered final purge mode. No one could enter or leave now. He slammed his fist against the steel. Come back, LRE ... Inside the base ... LRE ran through the smoke and sparks, her glowing skin flickering between gold and red. Warnings flashed all around her. The self-destruct countdown ticked lower with each second. 8 minutes. The path to the control chamber was collapsing. Debris fell from the ceiling. A broken support beam sliced her shoulder, but she didn't stop. She felt something inside her guiding her steps. Not programming something else. Purpose. She reached the main terminal room, where the Martian AI core pulsed with dying energy. The Watcher, still sparking from the blast Raylan gave him, stood in the center. You returned, he said coldly. I returned to finish what you failed to do, Ilari said. Not by destroying, by saving. You are unstable, he replied. You were never meant to think, only to follow orders. Then let me show you what it means to disobey. She moved to the glowing terminal and touched the panel. Her circuits connected. Her mind stretched into the network. Suddenly images flooded her thoughts. She saw herself as a child. Inside a glass pod. She saw scientists from Earth and Xeris arguing. She saw a secret order. If peace fails, activate the hybrid to start the next war. Her breath caught. I was built to destroy peace, she whispered, but now she could rewrite it. With a scream, she pushed herself deeper into the code. Outside, the ground cracked. Smoke burst upward from the base's air vents. Ryland backed away, shielding his eyes. Then everything stopped. No explosion. No tremor. Just silence. He turned slowly. The red warning lights on the outer walls blinked once, then turned green. System reset. SELF destruct aborted. He ran to the doors. They unlocked with a loud hiss. He raced inside, calling her name, Elari. Inside the control room, she lay on the floor, her body still. Smoke floated around her like a blanket. Her skin no longer glowed. Ryland dropped beside her, heart pounding. Please don't be gone. He touched her cheek. You saved them all. Her eyes fluttered. Open. He gasped. You? Came back, she whispered weakly. I never left, he said, holding her hand. You shut down the core. You rewrote the orders. I chose my own path, she said. I'm not just code anymore. You never were, he said. You're a person, Ilari, not a weapon. Suddenly, the broken terminal nearby sparked one last time and displayed a message. New record. Created. Peace protocol initiated by Ilari. She smiled faintly. Guess I'm part of history now. No, Raylan said with a smile. You're part of the future. He lifted her gently and carried her out of the ruins. The red winds blew behind them, but ahead, the Martian sky began to clear. Far away, on a hidden Xerician ship, the High Council watched the data stream come through. She accessed Project Echo's core, one elder said. She changed it, said another. The human didn't stop her, he helped her. Perhaps they are more alike than we thought. The council sat in silence, and for the first time in centuries, they chose not to strike back. The medical room inside the human embassy on Mars was quiet. Ilari lay on the soft bed, her glowing circuits now dim, her skin returning to a more human-like color. Machines checked her heartbeat, brain waves, and cellular stability. She was alive, but changed. Commander Raylan Thorne stood near the window, arms crossed, staring out at the red horizon. A soft beep broke the silence. A hologram appeared in front of him. Xerician High Council incoming transmission. Ryland's jaw tightened. He tapped to accept. The three tall Xerician figures appeared, faces covered in thin golden masks. The one in the center leaned forward. Commander Thorne, And prototype Ilari. She's not a prototype anymore, Ryland said firmly. She saved your station. She saved our peace. She deserves better than that title. There was a pause. We agree. Ryland blinked. What? The council continued. We have reviewed her actions. She chose against her purpose. She disobeyed programming. And in doing so, she proved herself more than a tool. She is alive. She is one of us. Ilari sat up weakly. Then why are you calling now? The central figure spoke again. We wish to meet, you and her, at the Unity Chamber on the moon base. We will speak openly for the first time in decades. Raylan raised an eyebrow. This smells like a trap. Perhaps, the council replied. Or perhaps it is the future reaching out. Later, aboard a secure shuttle headed to the moon. Ilari sat beside Ryland, staring out at the stars. I don't trust them, she whispered. Good, Ryland replied. Neither do I. But what if they're telling the truth? He looked at her. Then we give them the chance to prove it, she nodded slowly. I never thought I'd be standing between two great powers. I was supposed to be a weapon. And now I'm a symbol. Ryland smiled. Symbols are powerful. The Unity Chamber, lunar base, the hall was massive. Circular, with bright white walls and glowing blue lights. Human generals stood on one side, Zerishan elders on the other. In the center, only two chairs faced each other. Ilari walked forward. Ryland beside her. The council appeared in person this time, tall and quiet, their golden masks removed. There, true faces looked tired, wrinkled, alien and yet familiar in their expression. You rewrote your own fate, one of them said. That has never happened before. Ilari answered calmly, because you never gave your creations a choice. The council nodded. And yet, your actions caused something strange. A screen behind them lit up. It showed Zerishan cities. All around the empire, protests had begun. People marched peacefully, holding signs with Ilari's image. Let us choose. We are not tools. We are alive. Ilari's mouth opened in shock. They're marching for me? You broke the silence, the elder said. Now we cannot silence them again. A human admiral stepped forward. So what is this meeting really about? The central elder turned to them all. We offer a treaty, he said, one designed by both sides. One that includes the new generation, those like Ilari, hybrids, outcasts, those with no nation. Raylan whispered, a third way, a new voice, the elder said. And we want her to lead it. Everyone in the room froze. Ilari blinked. You want me to lead? You are no longer a mistake, the elder said. You are the key. Raylan narrowed his eyes. What's the catch? The elder didn't deny it. There will be resistance. From both sides. Some will call her a traitor, others a weapon in disguise. Her life will never be safe again. Ilari looked around. The chamber. Every eye was on her. She stood tall. I don't care if I'm hated, she said. I care if children born tomorrow won't have to be used like I was. Then she walked forward and shook the elder's hand. Outside the chamber, moments later. As Rylan and Ilari walked back toward their shuttle, Rylan whispered, You know this could still be a trap. I know, she said, smiling sadly. But I'm not afraid anymore. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the hallway behind them. Guards shouted. Sirens rang out. Rylan pulled her down behind a wall. Another blast echoed. Someone didn't want peace. Asterisk. The hallway shook from the blast. Red lights flashed along the lunar base ceiling. Guards yelled orders in both human and Zerishan languages. Smoke poured from the corridor behind the Unity Chamber. The peace meeting had just ended, and someone had attacked. Commander, Raylan Thorne shielded Ilari behind a thick wall panel. "Stay down," he shouted. "I'm not hiding," Ilari replied, her voice steady. "They're not just attacking me. They're attacking the future." Another blast echoed closer. Raylan peeked around the corner. Two shadows moved fast through the smoke. He saw black armor, no symbols, no flags, just silent professionals. "Assassins." "Ilari," he said, pulling out his plasma sidearm. "They're here for you." She nodded. "Then we don't run. We stand." Back inside the Unity chamber, panic filled the room. Zeritian elders were rushed out through side exits. Human generals took cover. One admiral barked orders, "Secure the prototype." She must not fall. But one human diplomat shouted back, "She's not a prototype, she's our only hope." Chaos had erupted. But in the center of it, Ilari was still standing, back in the corridor. The two masked assassins stepped out of the smoke. "You should have stayed a weapon," one hissed. "Too late for that," Raylan replied and fired. A blue bolt hit the assassin's shoulder, spinning him back. The second assassin launched forward, blades drawn. Raylan blocked just in time, his arm shaking from the impact. Ilari, with no weapon in hand, focused. Her fingertips glowed faintly. She remembered the memory fire. The energy that unlocked her mind, it was still inside her. She raised her hand and touched the floor. A shockwave burst outward. The attackers stumbled. Raylan used the moment to strike, knocking one out cold. The second assassin threw a tiny black orb toward Ilari. It flashed. She screamed and fell to the floor, paralyzed. "No!" Raylan shouted. He jumped in front of her just as the second assassin raised his blade. Before the blade could strike, a red plasma bolt came from behind, burning through the assassin's chest. A Blivyantivasma bolt came from Bihasma bolt, came from Bihasma bolt, came from behind, burning through the assassin's chest. Zeritian guard had returned. Raylan looked up and nodded. The threat was down for now. He turned to Ilari. Her body shook, but her eyes were open. I can't move," she whispered. "You're okay," Raylan said, lifting her into his arms. "You're safe now." "No," she whispered again. "It's not over." Later, in a medical chamber, Ilari lay under careful monitoring. Her vitals were stable, but her neural system had been hit with a stun pulse grenade, a weapon designed to shut down hybrid brains. Doctors said she might take hours to recover. Or days. Raylan paced beside her. Outside the room, two human and Zeritian officers waited. Their faces were grim. "They'll keep coming," Raylan said. "You saw it. Someone inside this alliance wants her dead." "We believe it was the Children of Purity," said the Zeritian commander. "They believe hybrids are unnatural, a threat. And some humans feel the same way," the Earth general added. "Old fear runs deep." Raylan slammed his fist against the wall. "Then we bring it into the light." The general raised a brow. "You have a plan?" He nodded. "We hold a joint broadcast, humans and Zeritians. Ilari speaks. No more hiding. Let the galaxy hear her voice." The others hesitated. Then, slowly, they agreed. A few hours later, Ilari stood in front of a camera. Her body still weak, but her eyes full of fire. "This message," she began, "is for everyone who thinks I should not exist. I was made without a choice, programmed to start wars. But I broke free, not because I'm strong, but because someone believed in me." She looked at Raylan, who stood just off camera. "Peace isn't made by perfect people. It's made by the broken ones who choose not to break again." She paused. "I am Ilari, not a tool. Not a threat. Just someone trying to be more." Across the galaxy, the message spread. People watched on space stations, colony worlds, alien ships. Some cheered, Some wept, and some swore she had just signed her death sentence. In the shadows of a distant moon. A figure in a dark cloak watched the broadcast. Elari speaks well, the voice growled, but peace is still weakness. He turned to a map of Earth. Time to remind the humans what fear feels like. The Earth's orbit was crowded. Warships from both human and Zerushan forces floated like silent giants, their weapons armed, shields up, engines humming. The peace treaty was now hanging by a single thread, a hybrid girl's voice and the trust between ancient enemies. Inside Earth's main defense tower, Elari stood by the window. Her body still hurt from the attack on the moon, but her eyes were sharp. Her speech had shaken the galaxy, but it also woke something dark. Reports confirm it, Reland said beside her. An unknown fleet is moving toward Earth from the outer colonies, not Zerushan, not human, something else. Elari frowned. Then who? He turned the holoscreen on. A blurry image appeared, black ships with no flags, no signals. Then a symbol flashed across the screen. Elari's breath caught. I know that mark. It was the same symbol from her vision in the Martian base, the one she saw during the memory fire flash. It's them, she whispered. The creators, the ones who designed me, the ones who started the original hybrid program. They were never part of either side. They worked in secret. And now they're coming, Ryland said, to finish what they began. In orbit, the rogue fleet broadcast a message. This planet is infected with error. Hybrids must be deleted. Peace is failure. The fleet began to charge weapons. Earth's command center went into full alert. General Atwood barked orders. All ships, prepare for planetary defense. Zerushan commanders sent the reply, but Elari stepped forward. Let me speak to them. Everyone turned to her. They want to erase what they created. But I'm still here. I can prove we've grown beyond them. Ryland shook his head. You don't need to face them alone. I do, she said. But I want you with me. Minutes later, in a shuttle headed toward the enemy fleet, Elari stood before a HOLO-com. The shuttle broadcasted her image directly to the rogue flagship. Cold, robotic voice answered. You are Elari, Project Echo. You were not meant to survive. But I did, she said, and I made a choice. That choice was incorrect. You built me to destroy. But I found purpose in peace. I won't let you erase that. The voice went silent. Then, you will be eliminated. The enemy. Ships powered up their cannons. Ryland turned to Elari. Well? They don't like speeches. No, she said calmly, but they'll understand this. She raised her hand. Her fingertips glowed again. Inside her body was a final code buried deep, hidden even from her now unlocked. She sent a pulse directly from her mind into the fleet systems, backdoors, fail-safes. The creators left them all. The fleet's lights. Blink. Cannons powered down. Screens flickered. Then dash system REBOT. The rogue ship stopped moving. One by one. They turned and shut themselves down. On Earth, cheers filled the air. Human commanders stared at the skies, stunned. Zerushan leaders whispered among themselves. Ryland grabbed her shoulders, stunned. What did you just do? I sent them the truth, she said softly, that I'm not a tool, not anymore. And that peace isn't weakness. It's resistance, real resistance. 3 days later, the Unity Treaty was signed. For the first time in galactic history, humans and Zerushans declared a united alliance with protections for hybrids, independence, and free minds of all. Species. In the center of the signing ceremony stood Elari, no longer just a girl born in a lab, but a symbol of change. Crowds chanted her name from Mars to Jupiter. And beside her, always, stood Ryland Thorn. Later that night, They sat under the stars on Earth's grass fields, real sky above them. You could have died, Ryland said. So could you, she smiled. But we didn't. Do you think the galaxy will really change? She looked up at the stars. Not all at once, she said, but maybe, just enough. He reached out and held her hand. You're not alone anymore, he said. She squeezed back gently. I never was, she whispered.